Next is the legs. Fairly straightforward. That's a pair of legs. This looks quite painful. Two legs. We'll come back to them as well. Next we'll take the short form off. We count 5 bones. And basically straight the way down. I have done this before.
Is this one of those don't do this at home moments?
So that's what we call the short floor. You get the shoulders and the neck of lamb out of that. Again, I'll come back to that. But first I must get these bumps off for Charlie to cook. The older generation would know these as chumps, but these new modern chefs have put a bit of a modern switch on it, now calling them bumps. It's probably one of the lesser cuts known, but you probably get it more in restaurants than you do actually in the supermarkets. Who actually buys their meat from a butcher? I'd encourage everybody to buy their meat from a butcher, for the simple reason they can tell you where the cuts are from, probably where the meat is from. We get all our meat from Lamb Arnie, which is over in Chelmsford, and they're over in the, over the back there. So
they're over in the food court, yeah.
In the food court. There's one chunk. Enough there? Yeah.
So I'm getting a rump of lamb. Just going to trim it up a little bit, leave a little bit of fat on. I've got some anchovy butter in this pan, which is pairs with it nicely. I've also got some sea herbs that I foraged from Mersey, Pulsbury, from all the local sort of salt marsh places. I'm going to boil them in some water just for a minute to take the saltiness off, and they're going to make a good accompaniment to the lamb. So.
That's another one, as it is. We'll move on to the best end. You do always get the kidneys in, the whole lamb. Again, very popular, people who like them.
That looks like it's a very sharp knife there. So
It is quite sharp. The sharper the knives, the less more accidents you have. We've had blunt knives and you tend to cut yourself more on the blunt knife. So, because you put more pressure on it. That's what they call the best end of lamb. Now you get the cutlets out of that, and you get French trim chops, that I'm about to try and do. Cut through the chine bone. And we take the chine bone out.
So is that the backbone?
That's the backbone, basically, yeah. There's a skin here, which we try and take off. It's actually called bark in it. It just tends to be a little bit chewy and tough on the cooking. So it's always favourable to actually take it off, if you can get it off.
So the rump of lamb, I just browned off all over. Goes into the oven for about 9 minutes. That's for sort of medium rare, so it's up to you how you cook it.
Take the meat through the bones.
We had Paul Kelly here earlier, Tony, and a legend. He's in the Guinness Book of Records for being the fastest turkey plucker in the world. You look like you're pretty quick on that.
I'll let him have that accolade, but I'd like to try him on the lamb. That's what we call a rack of lamb. It's my mum's favourite. He keeps going in the shop and taking them all. I'll do the other one. How are we doing there, Charlie?
All good, yep, looking good.
That really is quite slick.
I must admit, most people look at it and just, why don't I cut myself? But,
I guess the answer is you do.
that's what we call, if you like, 2 racks. That's a guard of honour. It sits like that. You might have seen that in the supermarket. Or when we do a crown roast, we put them together like that, and then we stuff it. It's probably the most expensive cut of meat that you sort of like get out of a lamb. Pound for pound or kilo for kilo, they're dearer than fillet steak. What we have here is a short 4. We can take the shoulders out of. If that's for me, I'm not here.
If anyone's got any questions at any time, by the way, or didn't see something, just sing out and we'll answer it. Well, I won't, Tony will.
That's one shoulder of lamb.
So if your mum's favourite is the rack, what's yours then, Tony?
It has to be the rump of lamb, actually. What Charlie's on.
My favourite is probably the shoulder of lamb, cooked really slowly, it's really nice. Or the breast as well, like you were saying.
That's the shoulder. What we have here is the neck of lamb. Square middle, so it's like probably the older people. But what you get that is from the, you actually get the neck of lamb fillet, which I think, the original chef, first chef on here, Lloyd Mann, yeah, he was cooking with. So this is actually where this is where it comes from. It's a neck of lamb fillet. Again, it is one of the cheaper cuts, but it's very flavourable. It's probably, yeah, second best next to the rump for me. Mainly used for stews. They do say it takes a little bit longer, but it doesn't take that much.
So people can come into your shop or where you are and just ask you for neck of lamb?
Pretty much, neck of lamb fillet, and then we've usually got them.
Is it common for other butchers to do that?
It is in the more the retail side, yes. You know, we get a lot more people now looking at recipes and all sorts like that, and asking a lot more about meat, which is fantastic for us because we can tell them where it's from and everything else. And you get 2 fillets.
What's it like cutting meat with all these people watching you?
Yeah, it's a bit different. I do get a lot of people come in the shop and I do cut the meat up in front of them, which is all part of it. I really enjoy telling people where it's from and everything else. So I've been in the trade 30 years now, and it's quite encouraging the questions I actually get asked, you know, about where stuff's from, and it's fantastic for me to be able to tell people, rather than, you know, because people come into a butcher shop, they want to know where the meat's from, what sort of cuts they are, and we're there to tell them. Okay, this is a leg of lamb. Now most people will buy a leg of lamb like this. Now, I would encourage people to ask the butcher to take out the H-bone, which is this bone here. It makes it so much easier to carve. It takes butchers a matter of, well, this long to take it out. You don't usually get this in the supermarkets for the simple reason that they will charge you for the bone. But if you take this small bone out here, which is all that is.
What did you say that was, the H
It's
bone?
called the H bone, basically, the hip bone.
So it didn't look much like an H.
And then you've got a piece of meat that is really easy to carve. If you would have had a leg of lamb and it's sort of like trying to find that bit, that's because of that bone there. Just take that bone out first, it's very simple. What we usually do at home is take off the actual shank. Again, it's worth taking out the shank because there's not a lot of meat on the shank, so when you actually do a roast, it becomes very difficult. So take it off. Take that off. Trim it up. And you get a lamb shank. In your beast roast, say, oh, you charge a fortune for that. But if you actually buy the whole leg, you can then get that and the whole joint as well. Really worth doing. Next, I'll go on to the best of lamb. Now this is obviously one of the cheaper things. You don't see these very often because a lot of this now goes into kebabs and doners and everything else. So it's very popular. But if you go to a butcher's, again, they'll have plenty of best of lamb. Now the best thing to do with this is get the butcher to take the bones out. It's not right. Any good butcher will do it. I would have thought. We certainly do anyway.
Is it something you get asked for?
We do
much?
now, yes.
Yeah.
We do continuously now because it is very cheap. Now what we would do with that is stuff it with a sausage meat or something. We would roll it up and it makes an absolute fantastic meal. And it's full of meat, and it might be a bit fattier than what you'd normally sort of think of it, but cook it slowly with really good stuffing, it really becomes a fabulous meal. And that'll probably cost you £5-6, that's all. So this move on to the saddle of lamb. Basically this is a short saddle now because the chump's gone over to Charlie. What you get here from is your chops. You get your loin chops, or you can get Farm2 chops. Farm2 chops are cut straight through there. Loin chops are there. You also get the lamb fillet, which I will take out. That is a lamb fillet. Fabulous piece of meat. Doesn't take a lot of cooking at all. I'll whip out the other one. I won't do the chops because this looks quite a nice surface and I'll probably chop all the way through it. I don't think they'll be too happy with me.
Probably wouldn't be.
Yeah. How are we doing there, Charlie? All right?
Yeah, nearly there.
All the bits that we've got here that we would do a minced lamb with, so nothing of it goes to waste at all. It looks quite fatty, but there's some good meat that we can trim up. And we have the shoulders. Pull up with me.
I think we're all thinking the same. What are you going to do with all that meat that you don't use?
I'm sure someone will have it. Basically, this is the shoulder. Now, you can cook it like this if you cook it slowly, but on a very low heat, it just falls off the bone. Again, I do like lamb. I said I like the rump. I said I like the neck and lamb fillet, but also I like the shoulder. But what we normally do, again, we would take the actual shank off. This is a 4/4 shank. Again, you don't actually see these too often, certainly in the shops, but it's worth taking it off and having that, because that will cook a really nice meal. And then you've got the shoulder lambs. Quite a fiddly bone. it does come out. This is the actual blade, the blade bone.
So how much of this work do you think the average person at home could do, and how much would you what are the easy bits to do? If you bought something for the freezer, for example.
The leg of lambs are probably the easiest part to actually work on, to take that H bone out. That's probably the best and the easiest bit to work on. This is probably the hardest bit, the shoulder of the lamb, because it's quite a fiddly bone.
It looks hard from here.